Go.
My name is Chibin Liu, and I write some. I have some iPad project on the side. So in the daytime I'm working for internet startup, but in my spare time I just write a couple of the iPhone and iPad projects. And before about a week before iPad launch, I received this email from Apple and say if you write an app and your app can be can go with the iPad launch. So that was what attracted me, and in about a week I come up with an idea to write a ISS reader that of course need to offer offline reading functionalities. So I come up with something called Feeder, F-E-E-D-D-L-E-R, Feeder ISS reader. And right now that Feeder is the most popular ISS reader in the iTunes store
Are you
for iPad.
Doing a demo of that today?
I don't, but I can do a quick demo.
Yeah, can you?
Anytime. Yeah. So.
There you go.
So Feeder is basically a Google Reader.
The iPad
So when you open the app,
Nice to meet you too.
like right now there's no internet, but I already synced it before. So for example, I can go to TechCrunch, I go and this is the feed in TechCrunch that I synced before. So right now I can still read it.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe do next, and you can read a couple of stories offline.
Yeah,
It's kind of like Instapaper, bro.
Kind of, but I'm not sure. I think Instapaper is kind of like you save the content and read it later, but it doesn't have. I'm not really sure about that, but I think the niche is that here I know lots of iPad, how people carry this on the go. So there might be lots of like the first version of iPad doesn't have Wi-Fi. So I think offline reader is probably one of the things that will be popular. Since I know if you can, of course, if you have Wi-Fi, you can always use your browser and use Google and read Google Reader online. But Google Reader doesn't cache for you. So
If you're in the airport, you could be reading
right.
Yeah.
If you are on the flight, you can sync beforehand. You can sync at the airport and then bring this app to the flight and you can read it. So right now you just cache the text, but I'm working on a new version. So like later on, maybe next month, I will also cache the image. So for ISS with image, and some people want to read some photo blogs, they will be able to see the image offline as well. So this is what I came up with. And there are some essential functions like just like Google Reader, you can mark as read, or like for any article, you can share with email, share it on Facebook, or you can star, like, share, whatever. So this is kind of standard. And so I think this app, simply, I think the offline reading capability is the selling point of this app. So I offer two versions for this app, one for free and the other one like $3.99 for the pro version.
$3.99.
$3.99, yeah. And that one has sync functionality, so you can batch syncing. So after you press, right now it's off, it's disabled because there's no internet connection right now. But when it's not, when you have internet connection, when you press this button, you can basically sync every feed in your iPad reader, or you can go to a particular folder and just sync feed inside that folder.
So you'll get the latest news and the blog post.
That's right.
Okay.
So this is my Apple app, and right now, currently, this is the most popular ISS reader in the iTunes store right now.
Okay.
I guess it's free, so people love free stuff. And there are a few. There are some people converting to the pay app, but I'm still pretty happy about that since. For the free app, I got thousands of downloads for every day for the first week, and I received lots of user feedback. And I know this is still a work in process, and I want to add more features on that.
So do this full time?
No, I'm not full time. I just want this part-time.
So you cross promote your paid app on your free app version?
Right. Right now on my the free version, you still have, if you just download it, you can still use the batch syncing capability for 5 days. So it's kind of like a trial period. After 5 days, that function is disabled. So that's just like my idea was like user to see what the pro version was like, because at first I couldn't do in-app purchase because I can only work on a simulator before, so I cannot test in-app purchase. That's why I had to come up with 2 versions, free version and pro version.
So there is no in-app purchase.
Not right now, but I will add it.
So they can buy from the pre-app. When they click on it, it will redirect to the App Store?
I don't have that either right now, but I think in probably next version or next 2, I will add an in-app purchase. So with a click, that would unlock the batch syncing capability. So
how long did it take for you to develop this app?
It took me about a week to develop this ISOs reader. But since that was done in a pretty short time, and I wasn't full-time doing this, so there are some functionality, because this was put in a short time. So there are lots of features that I want to add to this app that I couldn't have done. So in the next 2-3 updates, there are going to be lots of support. For example, like instant paper support, and also like some user feedback was like adding like Delicious or some other social network support or Twitter sharing. That's what they are not here in the app yet. But I will add them to the app later.
So do you have any tips for other app developers?
For iPad, I'm not really, I don't know, but it seems that I think it's, because I think most of the app right now, I read some article, they say like 80% of the apps on the App Store right now are paid for iPad. iPad app, 80% of them were paid apps. So I think there are probably some, if you develop some free apps, I think you probably can get, if it's good, I think you can get traction pretty quickly, since I browse a few categories and some of them probably only has less than 50 apps in the free for the free app. So if you are good, you can probably break into top 20, and I think that's probably it can be quick to get user, and maybe you can start from there. Maybe we can implement in-app purchase. That's another way to convert users from free version to paid.
That's it?
Yep. And I also have an iPhone app that's very popular right now, and it's ranked number 32 today in finance category. It has been in top 50 for almost a year right now. And the app is called Real-Time Stocks. It's a boring name, but it does what it says. It just it can get you real-time quotes, and you can build your watch list. So that is a very useful app. The app doesn't have many fancy stuff. It doesn't offer news, but it does give you quotes, pretty, probably up to second quotes. And it also give you charts, intraday charts. They're all free, and I monetize them by using amounts and modules.
So how much do you charge for it?
It's free. It's a free app. So that's probably only one of a handful free real-time quoting apps on the App Store right now. So it gets